All right, yeah. Okay. Apparently I'm live on the YouTube. And yeah, we got a thumbs up. I think that's cool. Click here when live for stream. Oh, well, okay, I got that. That's cool. Yeah, all right. I got you, Ecamm. Appreciate that. What's up, people? What's going on? Your boy Viper back on the tube, baby. We back on the tube. Apologize that I was not here last week, but I decided to take last week off and relax. So you all had some good content from other creators on last Friday night, so I'm not too worried about that. But we back tonight. We're live, and tonight we're going to talk about the tech that I have used this year. Let you know what I enjoyed, all the good stuff, things like that. May have a special guest. We're not sure, but we'll see what happens with that. I think we got people already populating the chat. I appreciate y'all dropping in here for your boy, but you know how we do on these Friday night live streams. So let's go ahead and get this party started, and let's roll into the introduction. I mean, if the people are late, then that's on them. They already know. But it's Friday, so current time. Wait, what? Bruh, get out of here. Get out of here, monkey. Get out of here. All right, getting interrupted here. Current time, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, which means you are in the right place. You are on the right YouTube channel, baby. Yeah. Woo, woo. So, for those of y'all who are new here, or for those of you who somehow catch the replay of this live stream, because I'm not very good at optimizing these, so I don't think I get too many replay viewers, but for those of you who somehow catch the replay, listen to the part of the live stream where I'm going to need you to listen to the next part. The next part you're going to want to listen to very, very carefully as I break it all down for you. But yeah. My Friday Night Vipe veterans know what's coming. They are prepared. They know what to do. They know the procedures. They know what to do. Now, with that out of the way, let's go ahead. Let's get into it. And let's talk about the tech that I've used this year in 2022. Because, normally I would have a Vipey Award show, but I kind of feel like I didn't really use enough tech, especially smartphones this year, to warrant having a whole award show. But I will talk about what I think was the best phones of the year and all that stuff and the best tech. So let's go ahead and let's do what we got to do out here. Woo! Here we go. Why is it looking all janky? Hold on, let me fix the microphone real quick. What's going on right here? Going on. All right, y'all. Turn your volume down. You've been warned. Woo! What's up, people? This your boy Viper, the man about tech, and we are live! Welcome to Friday Night Fight, baby! Woo! Woo! Oh, yeah! It is that day again. We are back. We are live on YouTube. Woo-hoo! Yeah! It's been a while, but we're back in the building. But before I get started with tonight's festivities, let me see who I got in the chat tonight. First on the list, Cool Gamer. What's up, man? How you doing? Good to see you out here. We got BG Tech Life. What's up, BG? How you doing? Who else we got up in here? We got the Tech God. What's up, Tech God? How you doing? Good to see you. My head of security and Mr. 90K on the way to 100K. El Happy Review. What's up, Jeff? How you doing, baby? 504 is in the cut. What's up, sir? How you doing? We got the Norwegian sensation, Elvid A. What's up, bro? How you doing? We got Pat Tech out there live in the cut. What's up, Pat? How you doing? We got Technically T. What's up, bro? How you been? Who else out here? Let me keep going out here. Uh-oh. We got the homie Ted out here. What's up, Ted? How you doing? Good to see you. We got Genosis in the cut. What's up? My enforcement here. We got Mary, Sketch My Story. Lovely video that you did with me and the crew, Mary, today. I appreciate that. Awesome job on the video there, man. And of course, the engineer, Technical is here. Barry Johnson, what's up, sir? How you doing? Good to see you. And my special guest is already here, so let me stop wasting time and bring in my special guest tonight, the maestro of troublemaking himself, Mr. Trenton Tech is in the building doing daddy thing. But what's up, sir? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. T-Day messed up my whole flow.
Oh man. I'm gonna need you to get the flow back. I'm gonna need you to get to retrieve your flow. I appreciate.
I was ready, and he just came in here like, "Hey, Dad." I'm like, "You already know I'm streaming, right?"
Of course. I mean, he always gets you when you're busy. That's how they are, man. That's how they are.
Yep.
You doing all right tonight, though? You doing good? Everything else all right?
I'm doing good. I think I got this thing zoomed in a little too far.
Yeah, we might want to zoom out just a little bit,
Yeah,
But I'm glad you joined me tonight, because tonight I'm talking about the tech that I've used in 2022, and I know you used your fair share of tech this year too. So I would love to get your opinions on the things that you use, and we could talk about it and have a good conversation about it.
Cool.
Definitely.
Let's see. This is why I need a zoom lens.
Y'all, we got a little real live tech stuff happening on the live stream, y'all.
Yep. I'm sitting here looking for the options and everything.
Definitely.
Come on, where is it?
What camera are you using right now?
My A7C.
Oh, it just went black. Oh,
take me
up. I don't know what's happening. Oh, there we go. Wait. Are you okay? That's not the A7C though. What's going on there?
Hold on.
That don't look like the A7C to me. That's like something else.
It was the A7C, and man.
Come on, man. You do tech support for a living. What you got going on over there, bro? What's going on?
Look, I don't know about this Ecamm Live, man, okay?
Oh, no, okay. Blame the software. All right. I love it.
Blaming it on the Ecamm.
Blame it on the Ecamm. Ecamm ain't got nothing to do with what you got going on over here, yo. What you do that? Yo. But I think the first thing I want to talk about tonight, because we'll save the juicy for later on, but I think the first thing I want to talk about tonight is what I feel like is the most improved smartphone in 2022. And for me, that would be the Z Fold 4. Now, this is kind of crazy because I did not have the Z Fold 3, but I did own the Z Fold 2. So jumping from the Z Fold 2 to the Z Fold 4, I was able to experience all the refinements that Samsung made with this display, and not with the display, but with the device. They put they apparently improved the in-display camera a little bit, but I still don't even use that. But just a little refinement. They made the cover display a little bit more usable, slightly, not too much. We still get this great big giant display on the inside, so that's cool. But the Z Fold 4 is, I think, the most improved device, smartphone, whatever you want to call it, of 2022. Love using it. The camera, the biggest improvement, the camera system. We finally got real, like, sort of flagship specs on the camera system code, using the camera system from the S22 Plus, and it takes great pictures. In some instances, it takes better pictures than the S22 Ultra, which is crazy because obviously the S22 Ultra has the superior camera system. But in some cases, this takes better photos. But the Z Fold 4, I think, was the most improved device of the year, and I will be looking forward to seeing what Samsung does with the Z Fold 5. But the one thing that they have not managed to do yet, that they really need to figure out, is the pricing. $1,800 is still too expensive for this device. I don't know if they're realistically going to try to bring that price down at some point. And it's ironic that I'm talking about this right now because I just watched Trent's video today about the Z Fold 4 after the hype, and he was talking about how you can get this phone for like $1,000 or in some cases less than $1,000 right now on Amazon because of the steep discounts. And I don't know about a steep discount, but I think for the Z Fold 5. Samsung really needs to figure out how to discount the price to maybe around, I would say, $1,500 is a fair price, but anything over $1,500, in my opinion, is too much for this phone. Trent, what do you think?
I agree. And what's hilarious about it is when the phone came out and it was like $1,800, I'm like, for $1,800, I'm sorry, it needs to beat the S22 Ultra in every single category. for $1,800. And then I was like, I could see this around $1,400, $1,500. And for whatever reason, people are like, oh my God, it's fine at $1,800. I'm like, why are you advocating to pay more money? If someone said, hey, let's make this phone $1,400, would that not make you happy? But whatever, a couple months later, and I'm telling people about the deals on Amazon because the one that was for 1,000, that's like a renewed device. So it could mean a couple of things. It could be somebody used it and just returned it. It could be one that Amazon reconditioned. But even then, $800 off, I'm willing to take a chance on that over something brand new for almost $2,000. But I'm not in anybody's wallets. People can pay for whatever they want to pay for. The only part where I'll disagree is I think another phone is a more improved phone, and that's the Pixel 7 Pro going from the Pixel 6.
Okay.
Because to be really honest, like most people that I've seen and talked to or whatnot, the main improvement going with the from like the Fold 3 to the Fold 4 was battery life was better, a little bit bigger screen, cameras are better. And that seems to be like the gist of it. Otherwise, there are a lot of people that are like, hey, if you still had a if you still had a Fold 3, you'll be fine. You don't need the Fold 4. My experience with the Pixel 6 Pro last year, it was a necessary upgrade after all of those issues that Pixel 6 had, in my opinion. I know some people didn't have issues with the Pixel 6, but to me, the design, everything else that they did, and basically getting the phone to run problem free with the Pixel 7, that's why I chose it as the most improved.
Yeah, I can't really argue with that because I'll get into the Pixel 7 Pro a little bit later on in the live stream, but definitely Google made some big time improvement with the Pixel 7 Pro. But the Pixel 6 Pro was such, I don't know, it was such, and I didn't really have too many issues, but I think a lot of people had not the best experience with the Pixel 6 Pro in the beginning. Now, I know they improved it over time, but out of the gate, when the phone first launched, there was a bunch of issues that people were having with that device. So Google had to make this launch better, and they did, and kudos to them. And again, I'll get more into that later on in the live stream, but yeah, it's hard to argue with that the experience on the Pixel 7 Pro definitely has improved over the 6 Pro. But I don't know. I just feel like Samsung, they just did a few things with the Z Fold 4. I'm like, all right, this is definitely a better experience. They got a few more apps optimized, although that's still a big problem with Android and foldables in general. The app optimization is not quite there yet, but they're getting better at it. But yeah, you can't really go wrong with either one, although one is significantly less expensive than the other one. But still, great device and all. You both all around. You all in the chat, let me know what you think your most improved phone of 2022 was from last year. Let me know what you guys think. We can talk about that as well. So next, I want to get into a device that me and Trenton both own, or well, he owned it for a limited time. But we got to talk about the iPhone 14 Pro Max. Now, I am the self-proclaimed captain of Team Apple. So you all know how much I love Apple devices. But I don't know if I've ever been underwhelmed more with an iPhone this year than this one right here. And I use this device every day because obviously this is my main phone and things like that. But this phone, from last year to this year, I don't even know if I can say it improved. I mean, it might have a faster processor. I don't even know if I can say the camera system is that much better. I mean, it looks about the same to me. The dynamic island is probably the most overhyped feature maybe in the last like 5 years. I mean, it's okay, but for the way they hyped it up on stage, it's not what everybody is making it out to be. And I'm just underwhelmed. It's a good, don't get me wrong, it's not a bad phone. It's not a bad phone, but I'm just underwhelmed. And I mean, hell, Trenton had it for like, 24 hours and then he's returned it. So let us know how you thought about the iPhone 14, man.
Yeah, so I didn't have the Pro Max. I had got like a base model 14 to kind of try it out because I already had a 13 Pro Max. And I'm like, okay, if I were to get another phone, it wouldn't be another Pro Max. It might be a smaller one just to see how like the other side lives or whatnot. But I mean, I went through a couple of things. So it was like, first we had the whole leaks where it was supposed to be the Face ID camera and like a pill hole, and then everybody was losing their shit at that. Then Apple came out and said, well, we're going to fill those dots in with the OLED or whatnot so you can't see it. I'm like, you know, that's probably a good idea. That seems a little bit better. Then I saw it in person, and it was like the first 30 minutes or so, I was just like, okay, it looks all right. And then after like the new phone smell wore off, I'm like, why do I even have this phone? Like, my 13 Pro Max is perfectly fine. There's literally no reason for me to have this phone, except for the fact that I make videos on the internet, and I'm just like, I'm not gonna do that much with it. So I ended up returning it, and that was my own personal thing. Uh, Usually, when they come out with a newer iPhone, you know, the battery life either increases or they do something to tweak that. I think the battery life actually got a little worse. Not terribly worse, but a little bit worse. And as far as like most disappointing iPhone follow up, it's close, but I have to give the most disappointing follow up to the iPhone 12 Pro Max.
Mm,
The
mm.
12 Pro Max and the actually all of them. The 12, the 12 Pro Max and the 12 Pro. I can't say the mini because it was just introduced or whatever.
Right.
So that is not following up. It was just brand new, but even the battery life on that one sucked too. And imagine going from an iPhone 11 Pro Max, which was like the battery king back then with the 6.4-inch display and the cameras and all that stuff, to the iPhone 12, where that they shrunk the battery and then put 5G in there. And
Yep.
battery life was terrible. So with the 14 Pro Max, I can't be as critical about it as I was with the 12, but it kind of seems like all of these even number iPhones are kind of duds.
Yeah, now it's funny that you talk about going from the 11 Pro to the 12 Pro because yeah, there's definitely a drop off in battery life with the addition of 5G and like you said, they're making the battery smaller. We definitely got kind of cheated with that 12 Pro Max from the 11 Pro, but then they kind of made up for it with the 13 Pro. Going from the 13 Pro to the 14 Pro, as far as battery life is concerned, a little bit of a drop off, but not nearly dramatic as going from the 11 Pro to the 12 Pro. But like I said, this iPhone is just nothing about it has really overwhelmed me. Like I don't know, man. I mean, again, it's not a bad device. I mean, I don't even know. Truth be talk, usually you can say that an iPhone is the best iPhone ever, but I don't even. I mean, that 13 Pro Max might be better than the 14 Pro Max. If we really being honest, I don't know. I don't know, man. Trent, I don't know.
The only thing that kills me about Apple is that so the 13 Pro Max has what, the A15 in there, I
Mhm.
think.
Right.
So it's got the A15 Bionic. It still has like 6 gigs of RAM or whatnot. The newer iPhone 14, not even the Pro model, the 14 has that same A15 Bionic. And I don't know if it has either the same RAM or less, but Apple was like, oh, iPhone 14 will give you, 4K cinematic mode on an A15 powered phone. Oh, you got a 13 Pro Max? Yeah, for some reason we still can't do 4K cinematic.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's the same chip. It's
Right.
the same. It's almost the same thing, everything across. So you're telling me the Pro Max from the year before can't do that, or you guys don't want to let it do it, but the new 14, which is still less overall than the previous 13 Pro Max, can do the new shit. Okay. All right, Tim Apple, whatever.
Yeah, that's definitely kind of shady. I mean, like you said, there's no excuse. And kind of like the iPads, right? With the iPads having chips and power for it, they have them not being able to do some stuff that the MacBook can do when they're running on basically the same chip architecture and stuff like that. Like, what are we talking about? So Yeah, Apple definitely can draw some irony when they choose to gate some features that theoretically should be capable on older devices with the same chip, but they're like, no, you need to buy the new hot end if you want these extended advanced features. And yeah, we see you, Apple. We see you, yo. We see what's going on out here for sure.
Yeah, so this year just seems to be kind of like the, you know, it's like the minor year, it's just like, oh hey, it's an iPhone. If you have a really old iPhone, then sure, get the newest one. But at the same time, I tell a lot of people to save money and go to 13.
Yeah. I think this year more than ever, you really don't need to upgrade to the latest iPhone unless, like you said, you have an older iPhone. I mean, if you have a 13 Pro, you have no business getting a 14 Pro. I will tell you all that right now. If you're thinking about getting a 14 Pro and you have a 13 Pro, save your money, hold it for next year. Don't do it to yourself. You will not be dancing in the street. You will be like, damn, why did I do this to myself? How do you say you played? If you do that, you played yourself. Basically, you get a 14 from a
I'm
13, you play.
I'm still upset at Apple for the whole eSIM thing, the way that they
Oh, that's
did
the
it,
other
because
thing. I didn't even get into that. The eSIM, yeah. That's the other reason why if you have a 13, you probably might not want to consider a 14 because there's no physical SIM card in the device. So it's all eSIM. So if you're a person that swaps SIMs and things like that, definitely might want to pause on getting one of these because your eSIM experience could vary. Yeah, just be prepared to do your research about that before you make the commitment to jump to the 14 series of phones. I know I didn't have an issue with eSIM. I think most people didn't. Oh, I would say a few people didn't have an issue, but there were a few people that did have an issue with the eSIM this year. So yeah, it caused some problems out there.
well, just overall, what I looked at it, and I'm like, so for the US, you're going to make eSIM only. For the rest of the world, you're going to make iPhones that are like SIM card compatible. Why just not wait until you can just go ahead and do it across the board? I just
Yeah.
I didn't understand. For me personally, I already know everybody. Well, the regular person doesn't care about eSIM. I'm not the regular person. I'm gonna give my opinion about it, but I just think that just like how there's these rumors about they're possibly going to get rid of the capacitive touch buttons and all, you know, just do all that shit at once. Don't sit here and like quietly, just keep chipping away at us, year after year. I'm like, look, if you just go, just make a whole big change, do it, rip the band-aid off, get that away. All this like just subtly sliding stuff out the door is just getting annoying.
No, Trent, you know they
Like if
can't
you're
do
gonna do that, do it with the 15.
they can't do that, Trent, because they have to test this stuff. The reason why they chip away is because they're chipping, they're testing. They're trying to see what's working and what's not. If they did it all at once and there was a bunch of things that were wrong, that would be a complete disaster. So they can't do it like that.
We don't have a choice.
No, but they have a
We
choice.
no, I'm saying we as the customers, right? For people who consume Apple products, you don't have a choice. If Apple if Apple wanted to um if they wanted to get rid of the USB-C port, like, or get rid of the lightning port like everybody said, and they wanted to go to wireless charging, right?
Mhm.
Even if it would be a bad, somewhat kind of user experience, they could still do it, and we'd be stuck holding the bag. It's the same thing that happened with the headphone jack, where they took the headphone jack away and they said, "Deal with it, okay? You're not going to have a headphone jack anymore. We're going to sell you AirPods. If you don't want to buy AirPods, good luck holding out and take it." Right? That's basically what they did when they took the chargers out of the box. Oh, you're coming to Apple. You don't already have a charger. You don't. Oh, you use the charger that you have at home. We're not giving you a charger. Deal with it. That's that's what they did when they took the earpods out of the box, and everybody got used to when they got an iPhone, they got their earpods, they could plug them in, they could listen right away. Apple took those out. Once again, deal with it.
I think it's a little
If
different when you talk about eliminating the charging port because the charging port is literally the last port on the iPhone. and it's used for more than just charging the phone. If you release a completely portless iPhone, that gives the consumer no way to troubleshoot if something goes wrong with their iPhone. They would almost certainly have to submit it to Apple for fixing or repair if something happens. And again, as I said many a time before on these live streams, nobody's trying to do that. Ain't nobody got time for that. And that would be a complete customer service nightmare for Apple. So I don't think they can do that just yet. Because when they took out the headphone jack, right? When they took that away, at least there was a replacement. There was something in place that could satiate the disappointment. There is no fallback for removing all the ports. Like, we're just screwed as a customer, and that would not be a good
Max,
thing for anybody.
that's literally what they could leave if they wanted to. Okay, like I said, I'm the crazy one here. I'd rather you just get all this crap out the way now instead of like slowly just drag it, just kicking the can down the road. Like just get it over with.
Yeah, but
Like
it's one thing to remove a headphone jack, Trent. It's another thing to ship a completely portless phone, which changes the fundamental way we use it. And yeah, that's different.
it's different, but look, I'm a realist. I look at the writing on the wall. People would adapt every single time because I've been doing this for years. Every single time I brought up a concern about somebody or about Apple either removing something or taking something away or switching something up that's going to be a detriment to the consumer or it's going to fundamentally change how you use stuff for the worse. There's people come out in droves. People tell me every single day, oh, no one's going to care. They're still going to buy it anyway. No one's going to care. And honestly, after years and years of watching people, they're right.
I mean,
Apple
you're right. People will still buy it, but people would care when it's time to care.
Apple could come out next year and they could release a iPhone 15 Ultra at 15.99 and it will sell out.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Simply because it has a USB-C port on it and it's called Ultra and it has the same, let's say they throw in the same type of telephoto capability that you get in S22 Ultra. 15.99, starting at 256 gigs of RAM. Uh, yeah, it'd sell out.
Yeah,
We'd have the same problem that we're having with the iPhone 14, where you can't get any of them in stock, and all the pros are sold out. The regular 14s, they're just sitting there, but all the pros, they're sold out. I'd be willing to bet money that they would sell out.
oh no, I agree with that. I mean, iPhone Ultra, oh, that'll sell out in a few minutes, definitely. And so I see Joseph in the chat saying that the Apple Watch has no ports. I think the Apple Watch is a little bit different because it's more of a niche device. The iPhone is a mainstream device that millions of people will use on a yearly basis. And if you mess with the iPhone, that's problem for Apple because the iPhone, even though it's declining, the iPhone still makes up more than half of Apple's revenue per year. So they can't really do anything that's going to disrupt the customer experience too much with the iPhone without really impacting their bottom line. And if we know one thing about Tim Cook and Apple, they are not about that life. They are not about messing up the bottom line. So they're not going to do that. But
I'm just saying they can.
oh no,
They
no,
have the
they
ability
absolutely
to.
can. I mean, they're Apple. I mean, that's part of the reason why people are so mad because since they're Apple and they completely control the experience for the customer from hardware to software and things like that. They can get away with that stuff, Trent, and that's why a lot of people don't like the power that Apple has because they can do things like that, and nobody can really say anything. We just not like we have to deal with it. But what I'm saying is that it would not be a good idea for Apple to do that because that would just be a complete customer service snafu. And yeah, that's a lot of smoke that I don't. Even Tim Cook does not want. You don't want that smoke, Tim Cook.
I don't know.
Trent. All right, Joseph. There's 100 million.
I would.
But how many iPhone users are there, Joseph? Come on now, stop playing, Joseph. You know what I mean. Stop it.
I would love to run an experiment where if someone were able to like machine like a blank, right? Like a USB-C or a lightning port blank that you could like stick into the port to where it's just like flush or whatever. And then you go out on the street and you walk around, you're like, hey, this is a new iPhone. It doesn't have a lightning port anymore, but you charge it with this little metal thing called MagSafe. Would you still buy an iPhone? And see how many people say yes. That would be hilarious. That would be scary because we would just be reinforcing what, Apple would want to hear. But I'm pretty sure, like, if it has a lightning port, people are going to buy it. If it doesn't have a lightning port, people are going to buy it. If it has a USB-C port, people are going to buy it. If it doesn't have buttons, people are going to buy it.
I think we both know that Apple is at the point where the iPhone has literally transcended consumer electronics and brand recognition in its totality. I mean, iPhone is synonymous with basically the iPhone right now is literally synonymous with consumer electronics. I mean, that it literally is the face, if you will, of consumer electronics, at least here in the U.S. And that's not changing anytime soon. So it just is what it is at this point. I mean, like you said, they could pretty much do anything, and people will still buy the iPhone because it's the iPhone. That's what it is. So MC2 Tech Review says the iPhone is a business tool more than a phone. I mean, it can be a business tool. I think I said on Twitter the other day that I pay all my bills with my iPhone. I mean, obviously, I could do it with the Android, but usually the app run and function better on iPhone, and I'm just more comfortable paying for my stuff and doing all that business on the iPhone. So it can be. Some people don't use iPhone for business stuff, but I guess that's a personal preference. But
it's a phone.
yeah, pretty much. At the end of the day, it's a phone, definitely. But I think we need to now talk about the elephant in the room here. And since there is no official award show, I'm just going to come out and tell you guys that, in my opinion, because I know sometimes when we say things in tech people be like, that's not true, blah, blah, blah. So let me just preface right now by saying this is my opinion. If you don't believe me or you don't agree with me, that is okay. I don't mind. But the 2022 phone of the year, in my opinion, is the Google Pixel 7 Pro. This phone, oh my Lord, it's fun because I expected the Pixel 6 Pro to be the phone of the year last year, and then Google just completely dropped the ball with that. But they did not drop the ball this year with the 7 Pro. This phone is just so much fun to use. Tensor 2 is snappy. The camera system is boss. And it's just so much fun to use. The build quality is amazing. Like, when I go work out in the mornings at the gym, I have this and my iPhone with me. And when I need to take a picture, I'm usually taking it with the Pixel and not the iPhone. It's just the overall experience with this phone is amazing. Not to mention the fact that, as some of y'all probably will highlight in the chat pretty quickly here, the price is definitely more friendly to flagship standards with this phone than most of the other phones out there. So, Pixel 7 Pro, this phone's a boss. Trenton, what are your thoughts? I know you got one too.
I still need more time. I'll be honest, I don't have a phone of the year yet. Because even with the Pixel 7, there are some things about it that I think that they can go a little bit further with. And I can't come off the top of my head. Like, I can't just be like, hey, such and such phone is phone of the year. Like, I really got to sit down and look at it. I like the Pixel 7. I kind of wish they would have had the 10-bit available in 4K 60 as well as 4K 30, but it's only available in 4K 30. I still like everything else about the phone. Me personally, this is just me, nobody else. I wish that the fingerprint sensor was ultrasonic instead of the optical one. So that's just me, nobody else. And I'm still kind of wanting the ability to take my Pixel and, connect it with a USB-C cable to HDMI to a TV and use that with the TV. Because I kind of go back, like, I go back and forth between iPhone, Samsung, and Google. And it's like, I look at iPhone, I'm like, okay, I like all this stuff, but it doesn't have this. And I look at Samsung, I like all this stuff, but it doesn't have that. And I look at Google and it has all that stuff, but not that. And this year has kind of been like this it's been an improvement year, right? It hasn't been the year of phones taking like a massive step forward or really introducing something that is like super amazing or whatnot. The only phone that I think that really introduced something new was the iPhone 14 with the satellite connectivity, for like emergency situations or whatnot. Um, all of Samsung stuff was a refinement of what they did last year. Google fixed a lot of issues that they had last year. They introduced the 10-bit video HDR, but that's not exactly brand new. So I really have a hard time, me personally, trying to find something that I can come out and say, okay, this is the phone of the year. When, like I said, everything's just been improvement and bug fixes.
I don't know, sir. You seem pretty comfortable with the S22 Ultra for most of the year, so I would say that would be your phone of the year.
The, the only thing that's killing me about the S22 Ultra is the battery life.
Ooh.
So if we have to talk about things, I could say that the least annoying phone, right? If we had to talk about phones that don't annoy me or what I could do the most with, if we're talking about phones for this year, then you're probably right. I would say S22 Ultra by a slim margin over the Pixel 7. And the reason why I give the Pixel 7 Pro a lot of oomph for it to be like really up there is the battery on the Pixel 7 Pro absolutely whoops the S22 Ultra's ass. Like it's not even funny.
Mm.
It's it's not. I can leave the house with both. Now, of course, I've been using the S22 Ultra, so battery degradation, yada yada, whatever, whatever. But even then, when it was brand new, I didn't get the battery life that I got on the Pixel 7 Pro. So for me, the phone of the year would probably be the Ultra because it's probably like I can do the most with it per se, as far as like capability and everything, with like DeX and video recording, and it's not going to overheat. I'm not saying that the Pixel 7 is overheated, but it's been more proven for me per se. However, even with all that, like I said, I'm still using the Pixel 7 Pro. So you kind of see the conundrum on I don't have one that I can just say, oh, absolutely, that's it. If I were to pick a phone from last year, it'd be the 13 Pro Max.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Yeah, and that's why I prefaced my comment before by saying it's my opinion, because some of y'all might be like Trent. You might not agree with me that I feel like the Pixel 7 Pro is phone of the year, and that's okay. Again, even when MKBHD comes out with a smartphone award, which if history is any indication, will probably be this week or next week, or whatever he said phone of the year is, it's just his opinion. There's no whole right or wrong. Like whatever you think phone of the year is your opinion, and you're not wrong. But if someone disagrees with you, they're not wrong either. It's all personal preference and opinion at the end of the day. The S22 Ultra was a great phone. I love the fact that they combined the Note and the S line into one phone, and they have the S Pen inside of the Ultra now. I like that. Um, obviously with that camera system having that 100 times zoom. It's funny when Samsung first came out with that space zoom concept, like a couple of years ago, I was like, yeah, whatever. But when you start using it, having that level of zoom comes in handy. Even I've even found myself using the super red zoom on the Pixel 7 Pro a few times, but that super zoom is legit. And Trenton just used it recently because he was at a Cleveland Browns game. And when you're like far away like that, and you got a phone that can zoom in close, it's kind of legit, man. I'm not even gonna lie. That zoom feature is legit.
I mean, I used the S22 Ultra to film the Blue Angels, and that exceeded my expectations on the quality and the level of zoom that I could get. And the fact, now this is the other thing, I wish this were to come to iPhone.
Yes.
Having that burst mode with that zoom, because I'm like following the planes across the sky. They're literally flying at like damn near 300 miles an hour or whatever. just doing their thing like this, and I'm doing a burst shot while following them at almost like a 50 times zoom, and the pictures still look decent. Are they? They're not beating a DSLR, but the fact that you can pull this out of your pocket and do this, and you can take 100 photos in that burst shot, and then go back through and pick which ones that you want to use, and you can literally just delete the rest if you don't want them. Like, that's a very underrated feature in that phone.
Yeah, and the other thing is, if you have like moving object, or if you're trying to take a picture of your kids and you know they're not going to stay still, or maybe your pet, having that birth shot feature is clutch for that stuff, because then you get like continuous shots of them doing what they got to do, and you hope that at least one of those shots will be good enough to be keepable or usable or whatever. Trent knows more about that than I do.
Right.
But yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah, burst shot is definitely legit. I don't know. I don't even know if iPhone has the burst mode. I think it does, but no, it's not like the ones on Android though. But yeah. I mean, I kind of agree with Trent. Most of the phones that came out this year were really just incremental upgrades over last year. There was really nothing major that really struck me this year. I mean, again, the Pixel 7 Pro, in my opinion, was the phone of the year just for everything that brings to the table and the pricing and the value and all that stuff. Obviously, Magic Eraser was not new. The Face Blur was kind of new, but I don't think it's good enough to like bellyhoo about it. But it worked. And yeah, there was no breakout technology in any smartphone game this year, at least none that I can remember. I know my man Barry Johnson using the import phones. I don't import phones, so Barry might have better knowledge about breakout features this year than I do, because I haven't used any phones that were not attainable through carriers here in the U.S. So I know some of y'all import phones, so y'all might have better ideas about that stuff than I do. The other thing that I used this year from Samsung that I kind of enjoy, if I don't have it anymore, but I enjoyed it, was the Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra. That thing was mammoth. It was like almost 15 inches, almost as big as a laptop, but obviously it's a tablet, and it came with the S Pen, and it was good. I like the experience, but again, my issue with Android tablets is that the apps aren't all optimized, and I'll give you guys a perfect example. So one of my main things that I like big tablet for is consuming media content, watching movies, TV shows, things like that. Well, depending on what app you're using on the Tab S8 Ultra, either the video will take up the entire screen and you will have no navigation things or whatever, or you would have navigation things at the bottom because the apps aren't optimized to take advantage of the damn tablet form factor. So it's just little things like that that kind of got on my nerves about it. But overall, that tablet was so thin, it was so light, it was so large, it was awesome, and the display quality, whoo, chef kiss, it was good. So I enjoyed my time with that tablet. The limited time that I had it, I enjoyed my time with it. It was good. But I know Apple released an iPad Pro and some other iPads this year. I had no interest in them just because there was nothing different, mainly from the iPad Pro that came out last year that I have. So I didn't even pay attention to the iPad. Plus, Apple made some weird choices with the Apple Pencil and how they supported the entry level iPad, but not the iPad Pros, and with the camera placement, it was just, I don't know. Apple made some questionable tablet decisions this year. I don't know, but did you have any experience with any tablets this year, Trenton?
Nah, last time I had a tablet was it was the last iPad, the iPad Pro 12.9, when it came out with the mini LED, and I ended up selling it because, honestly, because of two reasons. One, it was just too much tablet, and I really wasn't doing anything with it, and all the stuff I was just watching TV shows and fucking around on the internet with it. It was nothing, like you look at it and you're like, why did I buy a $1,100 tablet? So I got rid of that. And the other thing about iPads that I just don't like, I hate that they're 4:3. Like
Yep.
the aspect ratio.
Yep.
Because even with a 12.9-inch iPad, which is a good amount, decent size, you go on to YouTube and you watch anything, everything's either in 16:9 or it's in like the iPhone ratio. You're stuck looking at these massive black bars all the time. If you watch any movies, unless they're 4:3, uh, you're pretty much stuck that way. Uh, I was able to enjoy Justice League because it was 4:3, but there's not like a huge amount of 4:3 content. The other issue that I still have with the iPad to this very day, and I still don't understand this because I own a MacBook. On Mac OS, I can move icons anywhere. Doesn't matter. I can have them anywhere on the screen. On an iPad, still playing musical chairs, still can't put them where you want to. You have to download an invisible widget to move stuff around. And Apple's like, oh, yeah, you can get our tablet that has up to 2 terabytes that'll retail up to $2,200. Can I move the icons anywhere on the screen? No. Can I sideload apps? No. And then I'll say something like, well, I wish I could sideload apps on an iPad. Why would you want to do that? Because I can do it on my MacBook. If something's not in the App Store on the MacBook, I can download it from another place and still install it and not be stuck on the App Store. And you can do this on MacBooks that cost $1,000. There are MacBooks that they sell that are cheaper than the iPads that have more capability than an iPad. The only difference is that the iPad has the freaking touchscreen on it.
This man said that he downloaded a John Cena widget, yo. I can't get over it. He said he downloaded a John Cena widget, yo. I'm done.
I'm just saying, like this, like even those new AirPods. Like I know people got them or whatnot, but even I'm looking at what like Soundcore is doing and some of these other headphones. I'm like, why would I pay $250 for headphones that the features are locked into the iPhone? You know, like, okay, yeah, if you're going to be Apple, everything or whatever, but you got a set of headphones over here that are $130 that you have the features available on the iPhone, you have it available on a Windows computer, you have it available on a different tablet. I just, like, this year, Apple really didn't do it for me in like any sense of the word.
All right. Speaking of Soundcore and headphones, somebody I didn't catch it earlier, but somebody asked in the chat, "What headphones are you wearing?" And you are wearing Soundcore headphones. So which ones do you have on tonight?
Yeah, the Soundcore Q30s.
Ah, yes, great headphones. Great headphones. Yeah, Soundcore, amazing audio product for a fraction of the price of Apple and Samsung and all the other ones. But speaking of headphones, I did acquire a few earbuds this year. So let's talk about those. I don't know if Trent acquired any earbuds, but I did. So your boy Viper, we got the AirPod Pro 2s in right here, second gen. I got these on deck. I also acquired a pair of the Pixel Bud Pro, which they came out recently as well. So I got a couple of those on deck. And not to be outdone, I also acquired the Galaxy Buds 2 Pro as well. So I got these in the house as well. So I used all of these earbuds. And truth be told, they're all amazing. I think for me, if you had to ask me which ones are most comfortable, I would probably have to give it to the Galaxy Buds 2 Pro just because they're so small. And once you get them locked into your ear, they're in there and they're good to go. They're not going anywhere. They fit well. They don't move. It's awesome. But if you ask me which one sound the best, it's almost a toss up between the AirPod Pro 2 and the Pixel Buds Pro. I would almost get the edge to the Pixel Buds because they have an equalizer that you can use to change the sound setting to tailor them more to your liking. So these are probably the best sounding ones, the Pixel Buds Pro. But the AirPods Pro 2 are not far behind. They have excellent sound as well. But yeah, the company released these earbuds, the pro level earbuds, and they're good. Obviously, when we talk about noise cancellation and transparency mode, AirPod Pro are trumping everybody, especially with transparency mode. These are the king. Active noise cancellation is awesome. Transparency mode still the best ever on any type of earbud for AirPods. But the Galaxy Buds 2 Pro are still awesome as well with noise cancellation. And so the Pixel Buds. I don't even know. I think the Pixel Buds have noise cancellation, but I actually tried these out at the airport on the plane, and these actually work pretty well on the plane too. So Yeah, these earbuds are good. The only thing like Trent says that you use the AirPod Pro 2, obviously you have to be, you don't have to, but they kind of work best with Apple devices. I guess you could probably say the same with all these, although they all could be used with iPhone and Android, but obviously they work better in their respective systems. But have you used any earbuds this year? What are your thoughts?
No, every earbud that I had is from last year. So I still have the Pixel Pixel A, the A buds. I still have those. I still have a really old pair of AirPod Pros 2, and I didn't even buy those brand new. I got those like renewed or whatever. So because they were still charging like $250 at the time, and I saw them. I think they were renewed. They were like 140 or whatever. So I got those, and whenever those die, then maybe I might get another set, but not right now. And I still have a pair of. I actually still have these Samsung buds from about 2 years ago, to be
Ooh,
honest.
nice.
And these are the ones that it was part of like the package that Samsung sent me when I won that contest. So these still hang around, but these are like the emergency backup buds because they required that you had to have an app.
Mm-hmm. Are those the Galaxy Buds Plus?
Mm,
Because those had the 11-hour battery life, and those were awesome. I still haven't seen a pair of earbuds that match that battery life yet, and those came out like years ago.
just the regular ones.
Okay. Yeah,
So,
we need to bring about some earbuds that have like 11-hour battery life. That's awesome. Samsung, if you're listening, let's make that happen, baby. Let's make that happen.
but yeah, the reason why I got these were because of El Jefe, because I was actually in Vegas like 2 years ago, and I think this was around the time that the AirPods Max were coming out, and everybody was getting AirPods Max, and I really wanted a pair of headphones like that had transparency because sometimes you're on the plane and you can't hear people, and I
Right.
just wanted that feature. And I'm like, I want like something with like a decent transparency mode, but I didn't want to pay like $500. So I hit up El Jefe. I was like, yo, look, honestly, they don't have to look flashy. They just decent sound, transparency mode. He's like, yo, I got you. Hit up Soundcore on Amazon. He gave me the link. Best $74 I've ever spent. And it was either 74 or 84, but either way, they weren't $500. They weren't, being scalped by people on the internet. And I've had them ever since. I've used them ever since, and I've liked them ever since. I still have the XM4s that I got from GameSki for like $130 because he was just trying to sell them. And I still I have to remember to grab those. And it's not because they're bad, it's just because I'm just so used to these.
I think you're talking about the Soundcore Q10s, and I think those headphones when they came out, oh my god, those were like great. They were only $40, and they sounded so damn good. Yes, I remember. I think they sounded so good. I brought two pair, bro. They were awesome. Those things were good. But yeah,
Yeah,
speaking of headphones, I am wearing the XM5s, and for the most part, I am enjoying these things. But I feel like sometimes they cut out, they drop connection to both my iPhone and Android. Sometimes I don't know what's going on with that. But other than that, I love the way they sound. The afternoon cancellation is legit. Transparency mode is doable. But yeah, these are legit. I haven't really had any other headphones. Oh no, I'll take that back. I had the Sennheiser. What was the Sennheiser one? Yeah, the new Sennheiser Momentum 4s, I think they're called. And I ended up returning them. I sold them to somebody else because they were kind of small, and I felt like the afternoon cancellation really wasn't up to snuff. So, but yeah, the SM5s are still at the top of the food chain for headphones with afternoon cancellation. So we shall see if anybody wants to come for a Sony crown next year. But this year, the SM5s are still the king. Let's see. Oh, I want to talk about the Kindle that I brought. So I have never owned a Kindle before this year. Earlier this year, I brought a Kindle Paperwhite, and I think it's the Kindle Paperwhite Signature Edition. I think it was like $189, something like that. I don't know. But I was enjoying it, but I don't really use it much anymore because I found that now I use my default 4 more for reading ebooks because the Paperwhite, the refresh rate, and just the skittishness of the OS just kind of bothers me, man. It's like it doesn't respond quickly when I touch it when I'm trying to like navigate pages and navigate the OS. It's too slow. I'm just like, what is this? But I love the I think it's like battery life I think battery life for like 2, 3, 4 weeks. I don't know. Battery life is awesome and all that. But the one thing that the Kindle does that you really can't discount is it is a dedicated reading device, which means you're not getting interrupted by notifications from your other apps like a Twitter or Instagram or nothing like that. None of that stuff is on the Kindle. It's just the book that you want to read, and you're uninterrupted, you're unbothered, and you can just sit down and read. And that's what that device is for. That's all it's for, and it's great that way. But I just got tired of the herky jerkiness of the Kindle. But I hope that Amazon improves it or figures out a way to improve the e-ink technology with that down the road. But I don't know. Do you have any experience with e-readers?
Nah. I literally transitioned from reading books to just listening to people teach me how to do stuff on YouTube.
There you go.
I skipped like the whole e-reader thing because even when I saw them first come out, they were kind of up there. And the other thing was that I didn't want to be tied to Amazon. Like this was like years and years ago. So like today I'm a little more tied to Amazon than I was like 5 or 6 years ago.
Right.
But that was my thing was I didn't want to buy a book on Amazon to read on the reader, which I had to buy separately. And then if I wanted to go somewhere else, I couldn't, have the book with me. It was only stuck in this one place, like because everything was coming out, all these different platforms and stuff like that. Just to show my age, I remember getting burned badly by HD DVD, if you guys remember that.
Wow, yeah.
Because this was when they were transitioning from just regular DVDs to like the high definition one. So you had HD DVD and you had Blu-ray.
Mm-hmm.
I decided to go full 100% ham into getting HD DVDs.
Oh, damn.
And I had HD DVDs. I had an HD DVD player. And then magically out of nowhere, they're like, "Oh yeah, we're not doing this anymore. Everything's on Blu-ray now." And I'm just like,
damn it.
all of this crap is worthless.
Yep.
I mean, you could still watch the movies, but once your player dies, that's pretty much it. And you're just going to be trying to hold on to the same old used player, and you're not going to get any newer movies. So that one kind of bit me. So when the whole like Amazon e-reader thing came out, I'm just like, you know what? I'll look at something online. I can find a computer, but I just don't want to be stuck to the e-reader. Now I got other shit that I'm stuck to.
Yeah, I mean, the cool thing about Amazon and the Kindle is that you're not. You can use pretty much whatever device you want because most devices have the Kindle app on it anyway. That's why I said earlier that I'm now doing reading on my default 4 because obviously the Kindle app is on there. And then some stuff I have some books on Apple Books as well, but I don't. I find that I'm using the Fold more these days for reading. Although I used to have a dedicated iPad for reading, but I don't have it anymore. But yeah, hopefully Amazon makes the Kindle better in the future. But right now, until they figure out a way to stop that with that herky jerkiness, I'm gonna rock with my Fold 4 for the foreseeable future. Because hell, at least that's the e-reader and the phone and everything else. So I'm just gonna stick with that. You know what? Let's talk about smartwatches. We haven't talked about smartwatches tonight. Obviously, I have the Apple Watch Ultra, which I'm currently wearing on my wrist, and I also have the Pixel watch that Google sent me as part of the package they sent me earlier this year. And I guess I'll talk about the Pixel watch first. I like it. It's the first Android watch. No, that's a lie. It's not. But this is it's the first Android watch I've had in a long time. Because I forgot I did have the Gear S3 back in the day. But I like it. It's nice. It's a nice start for Google. It's kind of limited in what they can do. And I know that the people that like work out hardcore say that it doesn't track like everything, but for me, I mean, I'm tracking my calories and it tracked my sleep decently. It kind of matched the things that I was seeing from my Apple Watch reading, so I'm okay with the Pixel Watch. Now, I think the biggest criticism right now for the Pixel Watch is that a lot of people feel like it's too small. And I had a chance to talk to Google's Pixel team about this and asked them if they were considering making a bigger size. And they said right now, it might be something down the road, but that's not something that's on top of mind for them right now. But they might think about it down the road. But the Pixel Watch, it's okay. I mean, it's not really a game changer per se, but it's cool. And the battery life, it does last 24 hours like they advertise. So the battery life holds up to what it is. I don't know what the size of it is. I know it's smaller than the Apple Watch Ultra, but I don't know what the
It's
exact.
I think it's 41 millimeters.
Oh, 41. Okay, all right. Okay, yeah, there you go, 41. But yeah,
The Apple Watch 8 is 45.
yes, correct.
Yeah,
Yeah. So the
and
Pixel
then
Watch. Yep.
I'm sorry, your Ultra is like 49,
Yes.
49 millimeters.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then you got the Apple Watch Ultra, and this thing is, this battery life is a beast. This is easily 2 days and beyond battery life. It's great. I mean, I haven't used it for all the crazy stuff that they advertise, like scuba diving and exploring the Great Mountains. I haven't done all that stuff, but I worked out with it. It tracked my workout pretty well. I mean, just like any other Apple Watch I've had. I love the bigger display, the 49-inch display, which I guess roaming the tweet at the moment. But we got the bigger display out there with the little crown and design. And here's the other thing. A lot of people say that this watch is ugly. I do not think the watch is ugly. I think it looks fine for what it is. I think it depends on which watch band you have. Now, this watch band I have on it here is the Nomad Titanium band. So when you pair it with the right band, I think it looks amazing. But depending on what band you get, if you use those ugly ones that Apple had with it on the advertisement thing, yeah, it's not going to look good. But if you get yourself a classy band, then you're really going to be rocking and rolling with the Apple Watch Ultra. What are your thoughts on the smartwatches this year?
There's no perfect smartwatch. There's only the smartwatch that is for you. I have seen every possible criticism there is for watches. I even tweeted about it. Thought about making a video about it, but it was just going to turn into a ridiculous rant. But the condensed version is okay. They came out with the Pixel Watch. It's a first gen device. It's too small. The bezels are too big. Okay, don't go with a Pixel Watch then. It's $349 with LTE, but whatever. Y'all aren't happy with that. Go get an Apple Watch Ultra. That has everything in it that you could ever want. Oh well, it's too big. All right, go get an Apple Watch. Well, the Apple Watch costs the same amount as the Ultra, so would it make more sense to get the Ultra? I don't know. What do you want? you know,
They don't know what they want.
go get a Galaxy Watch. Well, it's not an Apple Watch.
You know that people don't know what they want, Trent. Stop it.
Go get a Garmin watch. Well, it doesn't have all the smart features that the others. It lasts 21 days. You were complaining about battery life, but that's the same thing. People were poo pooing and even me. I just said like the Pixel Watch. It didn't meet my standards for battery life, but I also understand it's a 41 millimeter watch. They really can't fit a bigger battery in there. I'm pretty sure they did whatever they could do with that. Now, could they increase or shrink the bezel size? Sure, but it's a small watch. It's going to have a small battery. And then you have the Apple Watch Ultra. It's a large watch because it has a large battery.
Yes.
It's meant to be a rugged watch. It's not meant to be fashionable. Okay? Even though that some people find it fashionable, that's not what its main purpose is. Its main purpose is to be a rugged, outdoor dive watch, whatever you want to call it, save your life in the middle of the desert. It's not meant to be pretty, but people keep taking every single device and trying to find a way to be mad about something that it wasn't meant to be.
Yeah. And then we talk about this and he sees this a lot in technology. People getting upset when a device doesn't meet their standards and specifications, but in actuality, the device was not made for you. And that's okay. Not every device that a brand makes is going to be for you, okay? You don't see Viper out here complaining about pink phone casings. Pink phone casings aren't made for Viper, okay? I'm not going to get on the internet and shout to the high heavens and be mad at brand for making pink phone casings when I know that they're not for Viper. So you don't have to get mad just because the product is not made for you. Just don't buy it and move on with your life. I don't know why this is so hard for people to understand. Just don't buy it and move on. It's okay. All right, Joe. Like,
Yeah, like they. So, for example, that would be like that'd be like somebody going into a clothing store, and you know how you have clothing that is different sizes,
right.
but it's usually the same price. So TJ's pants could cost $19, and my pants could cost $19, and that's just the way that they sell it. Even though that my pants are bigger and have more material. Oh,
Timber, Timber. Only on live. We're live, y'all. We're
well,
watching.
screw that. Good thing I caught my MacBook.
Oh God.
But even then, I have pants that are larger because I'm bigger. Yeah, we could go buy pants that have more material and get more value out of them, but they wouldn't fit them, right?
Mm,
And it's the same thing with watches. Like people have different size wrists. You have different size people. You have people that are 4'8". You have people that are 7'2". You have people that are 6'1". Everyone's gonna have different preferences. On some people, and I've seen this, the Pixel Watch on some people's wrists look perfectly fine because they have a small frame. They
mm.
don't need a big old, rock'em sock'em robot watch. But then you got other people who are taller, who are bigger, that they would prefer a larger watch for their larger wrists. Same thing with phones. You have people who have really, really tiny hands that an iPhone mini is the perfect size for them. Then you have other people like Cam who has like these super large, basketball hands or whatnot, and he can literally hold an iPad with two fingers. That's perfect for him.
Yeah.
But this whole thing where people just try and say, "Oh, it's just trash because it sucks for me," is just it's kind of gotten out of hand.
You are not understanding the assignment. That would literally be like me walking in a grocery store and getting mad that there's a produce section and I don't want produce that day. What would I look like getting mad about that? Why would I get mad if the first section that I walk into a grocery store is the produce section, but I don't want produce? I'm not gonna get mad that they got produce on display. I'm going to keep walking to where I want to go in the grocery store. I'm not gonna get mad that there's produce out there. It's like some of y'all be shouting for nothing, yo. Just keep it moving. Damn, keep it moving.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I could see if there was something like, okay, there is something objectively wrong with this product. Like this product doesn't work like the rest of the products are supposed to, or this product doesn't do what it was advertised. I can rock with that. That's totally fine. But okay, the watch doesn't fit your wrist. That doesn't mean it's a bad watch. It just means it doesn't fit your wrist.
Yeah. Get over it. Okay, so Trent, is there any technology that you used this year that you were pleasantly surprised by and enjoyed, or anything that we missed?
mm, Pixel 7 Pro. I enjoyed that. Still enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, S22 Ultra, I actually did enjoy a whole lot. The only thing that, like I said, for me was just the battery life. Um, as far as other products, not really. I really haven't. Oh, this is not on the tech phone part, but I have an Elgato Key Light Air or
Ooh,
whatever.
nice. Okay.
Yeah, so I just got one, but it's still pretty dope that I can control everything on my phone, turn on the light, change the intensity, and all that stuff. So that was like, I guess that's like the hidden tech purchase that I really enjoyed. The other thing I'm starting to enjoy is the Amazon Echo Show.
Okay.
So it's like my first smart speaker display, whatnot. And then I have a Google speaker display, the Hub Max. That one's coming too. So I'm more so getting more into like the home automation stuff,
Ooh, okay.
and possibly I might get the doorbell, like the Google doorbell, where you can like have the camera and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's it. Nothing too crazy. No real like big ticket items or anything. I've been trying to pay stuff off, so
Yeah, that's gonna be
nothing crazy for me.
that's really gonna be my life next year, trying to pay out all these damn credit cards. So for you eagle eye people out there, if you look into the reflection of my glasses right now, I am looking at my Elgato Key Light Air. I have one as well. I actually have two, but I'm only have one up because I don't. They're very bright. Like you might think it's little, but that thing's bright as hell. So I only need one. I have one up here. I don't even really use it though because I do have my main light, which is the Godox light over there. So I don't use the Key Light Air, but I have it up here just in case. But yeah, they are bright. Elgato as a whole, Elgato makes amazing products, man. Elgato's awesome, man, and their PR people are pretty cool too. So, shout out to Elgato. Um, I also have an Echo Show 10 that I brought earlier this year. I was using it to control my smart life, but I left it could be a little bitch sometimes, so I stopped using it. Sometimes, listen, yo, I'll be like, Eliza, and she'll listen. I'm like, all right, I'm tired of repeating myself. So it's been reduced to a timer and a weather machine at this point. But yeah, I have to keep that. Yeah, I have the Echo Show 10. I like the big display. That's cool. So that's out there. Yeah, I haven't really brought too much tech this year, man. I like that's why I'm not having an award show this year. I feel like I haven't used enough tech to dabble a full out award show. But yeah, it's been a and the other thing, like me and you've been talking about, this hasn't really been a big year for like an advancement in technology, at least not in consumer electronics. So hopefully that should be more of an advancement. I don't know.
Yeah, I remember it was just a couple of days ago because everybody was talking about Black Friday. I wasn't really looking to spend money. Like I wasn't like, oh my God, I have this money. I got to spend it. I was just looking to see. I was just like, okay, is there anything that I'm actually interested in, or is there anything that's like a deal that I couldn't miss? And like 99% of the stuff I looked at, it was just like, I'd be fine if I didn't get it. If I miss out on $200 off, I don't care. It would just be here, and then I'd just be wondering why I bought it. And honestly, the I just got the Echo Show because it was marked. It was like half off. It was like I think it retailed for $129, and they were selling it for 60 or something like that. And I'm like, okay, I'll take a shot on that. I don't care. It was $60. You
I-
know.
You just reminded me of something that I brought earlier in the year. So just for a future note for all of y'all who are thinking about getting a new TV, do not buy a new TV before Black Friday ever. You wait until Black Friday. Um, I look like a damn fool. I brought the Samsung S95B earlier this year, and back when I brought it, I think it was in July. It was like $2,500, but of course it was like $1,400 for Black Friday, yo. I'm like, damn, come on, man. I know Trenton shaking his head like, damn, yo. I paid like almost $3,000, and they selling the TV for like $1,400 for Black Friday. I'm like, mother. Ow! Ah! I'm thinking a bunch of words I can't say publicly, but I'm thinking right now. So yeah, that's a lesson I learned this year. I am never buying.
Yeah, look,
I am never buying a TV
look,
before Black Friday again, ever. Not doing it to myself.
look,
Oh, thank you.
look, look at me.
I'm
Look at
looking
me.
at you. What's up, man?
You don't ever get the opportunity to call me rich ever.
Boy,
$2,500
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah.
for a TV?
Yeah, it was. I wanted to try because it got a lot of buzz and good reviews, and they were using a new technology. They were using a different type of OLED technology in it. So I took the plunge. It's a good TV. I mean, the TV is amazing, but Yeah, I look
Dude,
right now.
my heart starts beating when I look at a TV that's like $700. I'm like, I start making life decisions. I'm like, man, I don't know. I'm not sure. But
Oh my
at the
god.
same time, this kind of shows how weird our priorities are mixed up because I'll have a heart attack over a $700 TV. But then I'll look at a damn S22 Ultra and I'm like, you know, $1,100 really isn't that bad.
This man, people doing all the calculators. They're like, yo, what do I need to do to get that? I need that.
Uh, I could I could give them $300 and then I could pay $41 a month and in about 15 months I have it paid off. Hey, you want to get this brand new TV, $700? I don't know. I don't know.
But you know what? I'm about to be like Trent next year, yo. I'm not buying too much anything next year. I'm about what the money that I would probably spend to buy stupid stuff next year. I'm using that to pay off my credit card. I'm trying to get the credit score up, so I can do whatever. But yeah, it's time to start doing some more adulting next year. That's the plan. But it's another thing I will tell you all. I use Affirm a lot, way too much. And if you don't know what Affirm is, Affirm allows you to buy stuff when you don't have money and pay it off in payment installments later on. So if you want to buy like $1,000 TV or whatever, and you don't have that $1,000 up front, you can loan money or borrow money from a firm or whatever, and they'll give you a virtual credit card to use to buy the TV, and then you'll just have to make a payment arrangement with them to pay like over time. So if you bought like what $1,000 TV, you have to pay them like you can pay maybe like $50 a month or maybe $75 a month until the TV paid off or whatever. I did that a little too much this year. I still have 3 loans out right now that I need to clean up. They're not for nothing major, but Affirm is the cancer. Okay. I'm just saying like now, Affirm is
Yeah.
the cancer show. I'm not when I'm done paying off these loans, I am deleting that app off my phone immediately. Not immediately. Immediately I'm deleting that phone off my app. I am done. Don't do
I used it too because I used it for two things. I used it first because they had that was the other tech that I got. So you know how TP Link does like routers and
mm-hmm.
mesh routers and stuff like that. So one of the issues that we had was because I have like a Nighthawk gaming router from like a couple years ago.
Mm.
However, when you get into the backyard, it's kind of real spotty. So I think I was watching like the Poets and some other people talk about like mesh routers and stuff. And I'm like, you know what? I'll get one because it was the summertime. So perfectly good weather outside. You could take your laptop outside and chill. However, the router system, it was like 300 something dollars. And I literally didn't have a 300 at the time. But I'm like, I want it now because the summer's going on right now. So
Mm-hmm.
I did do the Affirm thing. And it was just like, here, pay $50 a month or whatever for 6 months. I ended up just paying it off early.
Yeah.
So I did that part. And then I used it again because my girlfriend's laptop had went down and she uses laptops forever. Like you buy her laptop, she will use it until the damn screen burns out. So I wanted to get her like a decent laptop that was going to last a long time like the last one did. And so I did Affirm for that one too. And I was actually able to catch one of the sales for the laptops. I think it was like $650 for a laptop, which in her mind, $650 is like super money to be spending on a laptop. I'm like, I will never tell you how much this MacBook costs. So yeah, I did it for that, and then I was kind of done after that. I was just like, ah, I'm good. This is like a trap. I can see it.
It really
And the
is.
other thing was, some of the payments I made didn't even hit my credit, and I was just like, "Why am I giving you money?"
Yeah, it's a cancer. I'm gonna pay off these 3 loans I got left, and I'm done with this app. Like we're done here. We're not going back. Okay, I gotta get rid of this stuff for sure. Um, so you were asking me about coffee talk this morning because you, you missed some of it. So do you remember what you heard in coffee talk this morning?
Man, look, I joined right at the time where y'all were going back and forth about like the artist formerly known as Kanye.
Okay, so you heard that part. Okay.
Yeah. And then I had to go like do some stuff and work on some stuff. Then I came back and then like there was like a full blown argument going on between Roberto and somebody else.
Yep.
And then I had to leave again and then I came back and then there was like this whole speech going on. It was like to be a man. And I'm like, wait, what? What did I miss? Like
Oh Lord.
we got the art of manliness talk going on and everything, and I think I came back like one more time and it was just over, and I'm like, oh crap,
Yeah. Unfortunately, it was not recorded this morning. I gotta remember to make sure I record it for the next time. But yeah, coffee talk was lit this morning. Uh, so
dude.
the whole to be a man thing. Roberto had made a comment apparently to somebody when he was on the phone with him about you're not a man until you take responsibility for other people or whatever. And I was just like, no, Viper doesn't take anybody responsibility for anybody but Viper. But then he was talking about how he didn't really mean it that way. He was talking about how when you make decisions, you have to think about other people in your decision making. Like, and this is true for like if you're like an employer and you got to make decisions that take your employees into account, or or how I make the decision to not say certain things on social media because how other people might be affected and things like that. So he was just talking about just being mature enough to take responsibility for the things that you say and do. And when you can do that, then that means that's when you become a man. And so we were talking about that and stuff. And so that was an interesting conversation. But the Kanye stuff was just wild. Like I didn't expect it to be cursing in a full blown argument, but it went there. It was just, I was like, okay. I was like, all right, y'all gotta. I need y'all stop it immediately. We're done here. Like we're not cursing at each other. We're not doing that. So that was interesting. Although it does bring up a interesting point though. We were talking about how we know that Kanye has mental illness, and he refused to get treated for his mental illness though. And I think they were talking about um how much accountability can you have or be can we put on somebody that has mental illness or that's been literally legally diagnosed with a mental illness and whatnot. So that was an interesting conversation. And then we were talking about how the media choosing to cover some things more than other things and all that stuff. This is what I want to talk to you about. Okay, so there's a couple of things that happened recently. You may or may not be. I think you might not be aware. Do you remember are you aware of what happened with Kyrie Irving earlier this year with the whole whatever the link that he posted? And he got backlash for posting some type of link online or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I was not aware of the situation because I didn't really keep up with it till it was explained to me this morning, right? So we were talking about that, and then we were talking about the Jerry Jones situation where he was caught in a picture from 70 years ago, or no, 65 years ago, something like that, 60 years ago, whatever. There was a picture of him when he was in his teenage years, and this man is like 70 something yeah now, y'all. But there's a picture out there circulating around on the internet when he was in his teens, being him and a group of friends were surrounding a group of black dudes, and they were trying to stop the black guy from desegregating the school or whatever, or something along the lines, or the white guy from trying to desegregate the school or some stuff. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So people were talking about that, and they were talking about how nobody's really covering the Jerry Jones thing, but more people gave Kyrie backlash. And I made the argument that I think they're both overblown. Because the whole thing about the Kyrie situation that kind of irked me, knowing what I know now, is that he just posted a link online with no context. He didn't have a comment or anything. He didn't say anything. He just posted a link. And I guess because whatever the content of the link contains some type of anti-Semitic stuff in it or whatever, people got on him. And I'm just thinking to myself, how can you get on him if he didn't say anything? Like, I don't understand like how you can like label him anti-Semitic and he didn't comment. He just posted the link. He could have posted the link for any number of reasons. That doesn't make him anti-Semitic because he posted the link. So that's where I'm coming from. But I mean, you know more about it than I do. What are your thoughts?
I'll say this: would I have done it? No.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you and me both. We are far, far, far below any level of influence or responsibility that somebody on his level has. And at our level, I wouldn't do that because I'm always looking at how what I'm going to say is going to be perceived online. Because there are things I can say in person. I already know, it's going to be fine. But if you say it on the internet, it's going to be an issue. And we've all talked about, once you start representing brands, once you start, someone's paying your paycheck and your extension of that, there are certain things you can't do. And I'm not going to kill Kyrie over it. I'm going to say, hey, that was, probably not a bad idea, not a good idea. It was more so it was like the level of the reaction to what happened that I was a little bit kind of miffed by. And it was like, okay, he's going to be suspended. He has to go through sensitivity training. There's a possibility he won't play in the NBA ever again, and this and that, or whatnot. And like you say, okay, does the punishment fit the crime?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And to not drive the story away from everything, but it was like that level of reaction to a tweet seemed far overblown. I'm not going to say the reaction was wrong. I'm just saying the levels at which people were going to and the lengths that people were going to say that he's this and he's that and yada yada whatever whatever with no other additional context but a retweet. Should he have probably used some more common sense? I would say yes. Never play in the NBA ever again because of that was just ridiculous. And unfortunately, with Jerry Jones, any sort of picture for those times or whatnot, people people are always going to remember that. You know, it's even hard to speak on it because you don't want to downplay the severity of what happened back then.
Right.
However, at the same time, you would like to think that at like how long do you have to pay for something like that, right? And I'm not talking about like criminal activity where you kill somebody, but I'm just saying like how long, how many years, how many decades do you have to pay for a mistake that you did in your teens?
Right.
He was a teenager. This dude's damn near a grandfather or somewhere, right? And you have to think of like, okay, what what's something you could have done? Like I said, that wasn't, I don't know, like I don't know the whole story, but not violence or killing somebody, getting arrested, whatever. Just hey, you were there, you were in the crowd, you were part of the protest. And 50, 60 years later, you know,
Right.
I just didn't get all of that.
So Jerry Jones right now is 80 years old, which means he was like 15 in that picture. So we are literally trying to call shame to this man for a picture that he took when he was 15 years old. We're talking 6 decades ago. No, I know, absolutely not. A lot changes in 60 years. He has changed in 60 years. The man literally employs and pays black people lots of money to play for his team. So while I mean, obviously we don't know what's in his heart. He can still be, might be racist or whatever. I don't know, but there's a lot of top athletes who are African American that will swear by Jerry Jones today. Okay, so trying to clown him or cause action to him for a pitcher that is 65 years old is just disingenuous, and it's not cool. Like, bro, he was a teenager. Like, stop it. What are we talking about here? Like, go move on,
He
move on.
said he was one of the few owners that when Colin Kaepernick was kneeling, actually went out there with the rest of the team and they all kneeled down together. I remember that. I remember seeing it. I was like, wow, didn't see that coming. I
Mm.
have some respect, and just context because I already know we're going to go with the whole kneeling thing and whatnot. I'm a U.S. veteran. I had no issue with people kneeling during the flag. I could care less. I
I mean,
had no issue with that.
the irony is that the military literally fight for people's ability to kneel for the flag. So you getting mad about that is crazy.
it's it's the military fought for you to have the ability to burn a flag if you wanted to.
Right.
I don't I don't care. I don't care enough, But even then, it's like it's certain things that he's already done, and you go back in time, you see that one moment, and even though, like I said, the severity of stuff back then, you're just like, I
Yeah,
don't know. It kind of feels like we're in this world where it's like because of certain things we like forgive and forget, and it's just like, oh, why are you still holding on to that? Okay, well, let's let that go. Then there's other stuff that you don't hold on to, and you're like, oh my God, you forgot about that? What do
yeah.
you what do you want?
The things the things that we choose to get outraged over, they vary, and it's kind of crazy, and it's very inconsistent. So I agree with you. I'm not trying to downplay what was happening at that time during that picture, but to bring that picture up all of a sudden 65 years later is just weird. It's very weird, and I don't know what the purpose of that was. I don't know if that was somebody trying to bring attention to him. Maybe that was something to do with Daniel Snyder being forced to tell his team and watch them. I don't know. But the fact that the timing of that picture being showing up online is weird to me. And the outrage is weird because, again, he's a teenager. Like one of you all in the chat said, uh, every teenager done some dumb shit, okay? There is not a perfect teenager out there. A perfect teenager does not exist. And I know some of y'all parents out there be like, don't you lie, Viper. My child, no, your child's not perfect. I'm sorry. That's right. Viper said your teenager's not perfect. Okay. If you look hard enough, you'll find some ish that your teenager's involved in. Okay. There is no such thing as a perfect teenager because they're not smart enough yet. They're not that developed yet. Okay. They all do stupid stuff. It's just how we are as human beings. Doesn't make them a bad person, but ain't no perfect teenager out there, y'all. We all do dumb things when we're young. You know it. You know what I'm talking about. Don't act crazy. Okay.
We care too much about stuff that really doesn't matter, and it's the stuff that does matter that we really don't care about. And perfect example, the shooter that the deadliest shooting that there was in school history. All right, he pled guilty. He pled guilty. They showed mountains of evidence, mountains of testimonials, mountains of experts, mountains of parents, all talking about how it affected their lives. 17 children died, or I mean, 17 people died because there was children and adults. There were 17 other people who were injured. So one person affected the lives directly of 34 people alone with his own decisions. Whether he had a mental illness or not, I don't care. We'll kill a dog for less. you know, we'll kill a bear for less. One human being affected 34 people dramatically with injuries using a firearm. And we still couldn't find a way to give him the death penalty.
Mm.
We gave him 34 consecutive life sentences. He will probably be alive past all of the parents in that room. And it's just like, oh, well, that's just the justice system, yo. Hey, that guy over there, 70 years ago, he was there. Hey, look at him. I'm like, I think we kind of have bigger problems here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I just look at stuff and I roll with it. I'm just like, um, if it doesn't involve me, I'll read up on it or whatever. But I don't know. People are people are gonna care about what they care about, I guess.
Yeah. Well, Roberta was
Mm.
early this morning that people. people they choose to care about what they care about. Uh, Everybody, and you can pretty much question anyone's moral compass. I think is what he was saying, and that's true. Like we react to things differently. We react to some things more strongly than other things, and like you said, you got people over here reacting to Jerry Jones' picture from 65 years ago in some type of way. Like, bro, what? And then, but they're not reacting to like I said, a guy that killed 17 people, or whatever. So it's messed up. We as human beings are messed up. That's just basically what we're trying to say here. It's what it is at that point. But yeah, that was
Yeah,
something
and
Papa Talk was important. Yeah.
yeah, and my thing with the whole mental illness thing is like, I'll say this: mental illness can be a factor, but mental illness should not be an excuse.
Mm.
It should not be a we are. And I'm talking about serious things. I'm not talking about the kid who has a mental illness and he's over there playing drums all day long because he loves playing drums. I'm talking about when we get into assault or doing dangerous things or other stuff. Like, I understand if you have a mental illness. I understand that there are millions of people every single day that have mental illness, that battle that mental illness and still manage to go on with their lives without screwing up other people. you know, my sister, when she was still alive, because she's passed away, she had a mental illness. So I grew up around a family member that had mental illness, and you still see part of that. But people still pick and choose when a mental illness is appropriate and when it's not appropriate.
So to that point, you got Kanye West out here saying all this nonsense that he's saying, and he's been diagnosed. So we all know he's been diagnosed with a mental illness, which he refuses to get treated. So he knows he has a mental illness. He's been diagnosed with a mental illness, but he refuses to get treated. So can we really give him a pass of having a mental illness if he knows he has it and he refuses to get treated, but he's still out here spouting his craziness? At some point, you have to put a level of accountability on him at that point, even if he has the mental illness, because he knows what's going on. He's mentally up there enough to know what's going on, and he's choosing not to address it. So, I mean, are we supposed to like give him a pass? I don't know.
Kanye to me doesn't deserve a pass, but at the same time, I can't fully blame Kanye. I have to blame other people because we know what Kanye has been. This isn't new. This hasn't been last month. This wasn't last year. This wasn't even the last 5 years. Like, Kanye has had issues for multiple years. And we've known this, the people that followed Kanye, the cameras that follow Kanye, the people that stick a microphone in his face and they allow him to talk because they know they're going to get a soundbite that's going to blow up and get them coverage. I'm not trying to excuse Kanye, but if you keep looking for the clown show and the clown shows up and then you're magically surprised that the clown acts like a clown, what are we doing here?
No, you're right. They are literally it's exploitation. They're exploiting him. Absolutely, I agree with you.
Alex Jones,
Yep.
Alex Jones watched what Kanye did the previous weeks, and I'm pretty sure he's done his homework and seen stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you bring Kanye, you invite him to your show.
Yep.
Okay, that's strike one.
Yep.
Kanye shows up with the weirdest biker jacket I've ever seen in a full blown mask,
Fake
like
cover.
he's hiding. Yeah, like he's hiding from assassination or something.
Right.
Uh, do we really want to put this guy on camera? Like, is this really a good idea? Strike two. Strike three. Um, you know, should this be live? Should we record this? Is this man really in the right mental state to be making public messages to this? Nah, just roll with it. Just just go with it. You know what I'm saying? It's like you have other people that are looking beyond his own well-being, beyond his own health, beyond how this is going to affect anybody else. Hey, let's still put him on camera.
Yeah, because it's exploitation. They want those click those views. They want that money. Like because Alex Jones know that if he has this interview, it's going to be a lot of coverage on the interview, and a lot of coverage equals money for him, and that's all he pretty much cares about. And we know that Alex Jones' moral compass is completely F. It's been F for a while, so nothing that he does surprises me. So I would expect nothing less from him about this. So I'm not surprised at all.
And another guy, Antonio Brown.
Oh man,
We all know this man has issues on top of issues,
yeah,
right? This is what killed me. This is what made me lose my faith in the NFL to a certain degree. This man had clear issues. This man has had issues with his family, with getting into it with the cops, with getting into it with his teammates, with doing all this other stuff. But other teams were so desperate to win that they were still willing to pay and sign this man and still give him guaranteed money. Even Tom Brady let this dude stay in his house to try and get him, under control. And
yep,
even after all of that fell apart, you still had people out there saying, "Give, give AB another shot. He can still this. He can still do that." Tom Brady's going through a divorce with his wife. The man is posting Photoshop pictures of him with someone's ex-wife that,
yep,
well, they weren't separated yet, but it's the circus show. It's the circus show,
yep.
and people are signing up for it, and people are keep showing it out here because it's such a circus. But at the same time, they're like, I can't believe this. Oh my God, this is so disgraceful. You're broadcasting it.
The hypocrisy trend. They're hypocrites. The hypocrisy is real. You know how it is, man.
Because I've seen online where people are like, we need to stop giving Kanye attention. And then people are like, no, Kanye has to pay for this. How, this is happening because we're giving him attention.
Literally.
We are focusing on him. We could be focused on so many other things in life, but we are focusing on him, and it's literally dragging us down with it.
Speaking of people that we're giving too much attention to, and then I'll begin to land the plane on this. Elon Musk. I told y'all on Twitter that y'all need to stop tweeting everything stop responding to everything that man tweets. And I also said that everything that he tweets is not news. Now, it's interesting because he tweeted out that he had a one-on-one meeting with Tim Cook, and they kind of got their differences ironed out. Mostly about Elon talking about how Apple threatened to remove Twitter from the App Store, but now Elon came back and said that Tim Cook and Apple was never even thinking about that. Which I told you all when I first heard that last week. I'm like, that made no sense. Why the hell would Apple remove Twitter when Elon is launching this new Twitter Blue for a higher price, which is going to make Apple millions of dollars? Why the hell would they remove Twitter from the App Store when they're about to make like millions of dollars from this new launch? Like, it makes no sense. So now it comes out that Elon made it all up more or less, and now he's cool with Tim Cook and Apple, or at least for the moment. Dude, stop giving Elon attention. Some of y'all, your whole life depends on what he's tweeting. Like, the dude tweets too much anyway, but y'all give that man way too much attention, man. And even Trenton like had to block the words Elon Musk on Twitter because y'all doing too much, yo. Tell him, Trenton. Tell him, man.
I blame both sides. I blame people for being so wrapped up in Elon, and I blame Elon for taking advantage of it. I mean, Elon's not innocent in the stuff that he's doing. Like the tweeting that he's doing, some of the, like, you already know the reaction. Okay, you already know. It's like lighting a match and throwing it in a gas can, and you're just like, oh well, I didn't expect the fire to. Like, you already knew. And so partially, I'm like, Elon, I don't know what your master plan is, but it's working. But god damn, it's annoying. But at the same time, it was like it was like Twitter doomsday week or something. Like every single tweet was just like this crazy fire thing. And the one thing that I kind of blame Elon Musk for was he kind of started this whole trend of, well, I don't know if he started, but he was responsible for it. He started this trend that was very uncomfortable to see on Twitter. I was seeing people champion, they were being happy that someone that they never knew, that they never met, that they never had an issue with, lost their job. They don't know if the person was competent, incompetent, whether they were educated, not educated. All they knew is that Elon came in and fired people, and people were like, "Yay, oh my God, this is so amazing." I'm like, when in the history of the US have we ever celebrated mass layoffs?
Yeah.
Like 9 times out of 10, when you hear mass layoffs, people are freaking out. There's a new politician running because now you got all these unemployed people. It's like bad for the economy and all this stuff. But everybody, because they were such like super fans of Elon, they're like, yeah, fire those people. Oh my God, fire them. I'm like, I pray that you have the same energy if you ever get fired like that. Jesus.
Really?
It was ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
And like I said, they weren't picking out specific people. It was just like, hey, 3,000 people lost their jobs today. Oh yay! Oh my God! Yay! Oh,
Yeah. It's crazy.
I why? Why are you happy? it's did your stock price go up? No. Twitter's now a private company. Did Twitter get better yet? No. I mean, we still have to see like what happens, a couple months down the line. But it was more so it's just like if Elon did something, people just championed it without really thinking about it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
y'all getting a little ridiculous with that.
Yeah, it's a little too many Elon bros out there at their call apparently. Yeah, too many Elon bros. They need to calm down. But appreciate y'all being here tonight. Y'all can go hang out with holla at your boy and Barry Johnson. I know they're streaming over there on his channel, so go hang out with them. Trading man, I appreciate you making the time tonight, sir. Always a pleasure talking to you. So thank you, my dude. Uh, hopefully y'all have a good week, and I will catch y'all. Next week is the birthday stream. Even though my birthday is next Sunday, but obviously we're doing a birthday stream on Friday night because we do all my streams on Friday. So next Friday night, birthday stream. So if you're free next Friday night, come hang out, and we shall see what happens with that. Wait, there's a Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special? Really? I'll have to check that out. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
on Disney Plus. I watched it.
Okay. Any good?
Yeah, it's like watching like it's kind of like if you took a bunch of shorts and made like a 45-minute movie out of it.
Okay. All right. I'll have to check that out. But yeah, I will see y'all next week for the birthday stream. Y'all go out there and have a good weekend. Peace. We out of here.